Hey friends, Sam Haymart for Test Driven TV. Today we're test driving the 2016 Fiat 500x. It's the brand's first crossover vehicle that truly has a little bit of ground clearance, yet still retains the style of the original Fiat 500. So let's have a look.
The cheeky Fiat 500 has many dedicated fans, but for some, it's a bit too small. For them, Fiat has their all-new 500x compact crossover, seemingly scaled up directly from the original. The 2016 500x gets 2 more doors and extra ground clearance for even more adventure than the original 500, but unlike the 500L, it didn't lose that something special that just makes you want to give it a hug. It picks up some off-road flavored trims like black cladding along the lower body to protect against star thistle in the sands of Glamis, but still retains the humble details that make it a 500. Details in fact abound, letting you know they really cared. While it is a crossover, it's less SUV, with a silhouette more sporty compact rather than enlarged wagon. This is most notable at the rear where the roofline slants in, making the cargo area much like that of any other 5-door hatch. Even still, the cargo area is plentiful for most, and under its rear deck is a hidden stowage area that can accommodate smaller or more precious items, and when the seats are folded it still offers up a near flat load space with up to 32 cubic feet of space. Up front, however, is where the interior really impresses. With a design very similar to the smaller 500 model, it gets a fun and playful retro theme with body-colored trim. Simplicity in form keeps it light and down to business while driving. The seating in our 500x was cloth, as this is the easy trim grade, one up from the entry point. They come in black and gray, but also can be optioned with red accents. The cloth is sturdy to the touch and comfortable for long drives. Materials in general all around the cabin are pretty nice, particularly the soft trims on the door panels and the steering wheel. They just feel good and look more expensive than this price range might suggest. The Easy model comes with a base-level Uconnect touchscreen audio system which has AM, FM, CD, and satellite radio with full connectivity options including Bluetooth. Its sound was adequate, but audiophiles will want to option the Beats audio system. Using it was easy enough through its logical and well laid out menus, and it responds well to your touch. Because it is so far away, however, it requires leaning forward out of your seat for most drivers to reach. As our tester had the Collection 2 package, it also had heated power seats and heated steering wheel, a backup camera, dual zone climate control, and driver assistance aids like the blind spot warning and rear parking sensors. Rear seat passengers will enjoy plenty of space for this size class. It's comfortable for 2, but 3 is a bit of a squeeze. Either way, headroom here is plenty generous. Powering the Fiat 500x Easy is the Chrysler Source 2.4-liter Tiger Shark engine, which offers up 180 horsepower and sends it to the front wheels through a 9-speed automatic transmission. A 1.4-liter Fiat turbocharged engine is offered with a 6-speed manual transmission, but only in the entry-level Pop model.
Now this Tiger Shark engine does give a pretty good deal of power, more than enough for this particular vehicle. And really the only thing I'd say about it is that the sounds it makes aren't necessarily the kind that you want to hear if you really push it hard. And the other thing is, this 9-speed automatic transmission still feels like it needs a little bit of work in terms of, well, refinement. It clunks into gear, it clunks into park sometimes, and sometimes when it shifts you can really feel those gears meshing together, and not always in a good way.
The chassis of the 500x is pretty straightforward in its makeup, featuring McPherson struts up front and a link-type rear suspension. As it is a crossover vehicle, it has raised ground clearance over a standard passenger car at 7 inches. With all-wheel drive you get 7.9 inches. A console-mounted knob offers 3 drive modes including Sport, Auto, and Traction Plus. They're all for the most part self-explanatory, adjusting the steering effort, transmission behavior, engine response, and traction control depending on your selection.
I have to hand it to Fiat. They've really tuned the suspension quite well for spirited driving out here on a windy mountain road. It's tight, the shock damping is very well sorted, and the steering feel and the weighting of it, especially in sport mode, just makes this thing a delight. This is fun. Woo! Now, while the handling is very well tuned for on the pavement, One thing it does do is get a little bit rougher when either the pavement gets rough or you get off the pavement. So that nice staccato sports car ride that you have here on the regular pavement, well, when the going gets rough, that ride becomes forte in short order. Like now, I'm getting off the pavement, woo, onto the washboard road. And this thing, well, it just really comes alive, and not necessarily in a good way. What I'm finding here on the washboard road is that there isn't quite as much suspension isolation as I might like out here if I were to do this all the time. This rough, bumpy road is just coming right through the steering wheel. It's coming right into the cabin. Whew, and it's causing a little bit of rattling here and there.
The EPA rates our front-wheel drive 2.4-liter model at 22 mpg city, 31 mpg highway with a 25 mpg combined rating. In our week with the Fiat 500x, we managed 28 mpg combined in a balanced mix of highway and in-town driving. As this report is done just before the 2016 Fiat 500x goes on sale, crash test safety ratings have not yet been released from either the IIHS or the government, so nothing to report there at this time.
Rounding it up for the Fiat 500x, I have to say I think they've really put together a really nice little package here. It's cute, it's fun, it's pugnacious, and I think they really have brought everything that the 500 is up in scale, almost precisely. And the price, same thing there. Not a lot of competitors here in this price range, and this is one up from the base level. We're at the low to mid $20,000 range. Now you can get up into the 30,000s easy if you go with the Trekking or Trekking Plus trim grade. Those are quite a bit more well equipped. Fuel economy, 28 mpg, not bad either considering this is the larger of the two engines that's available here. Now as we look at the stars, we talked about some of these areas. This chassis, a splendid fun to drive vehicle. If you keep it on the pavement, when you get off on the rougher stuff, it starts to lose some of its polish. And the transmission, I think that needs some polish too. It still is a little bit rough, abrupt in its shifting, and I think that's just something that Fiat Chrysler needs to be working on. Outside of that, we're at 4 stars for the week. Not bad at all. I'm Sam Haymart for Test Driven TV. I hope you enjoyed the ride.
Special thanks to CarMiniatures.com for providing the 1/64 scale Rosso Brillante Fiat 500, which also starred in our review today. That's CarMiniatures.com.